Hey guys, me Brian from Echo1 USA, and this big old box is the Echo1 CSR, or the counter sniper rifle. Let me go ahead and do a quick unboxing, show you guys what it comes with, and then also break it down and show you what's inside the gearbox. Okay, cardboard box. Don't shoot the box as a target, get some other targets. You have foam, warranty card. All our Echo1s have a warranty. And you're probably saying, oh, I want to see the gun, I want to see the gun. Okay, here it is. It's basically the ultimate sniper rifle. You're probably saying, well, it's probably just a Springer. No, it's electric. So the reason why I call it counter sniper is just because you can see on the field a lot of spring and bolt action rifles. The ASR and the M20 are great weapons, but say if you don't have the patience, you know, you can go with this and just just keep on shooting within the legal field limits and you're ready to go. Okay, so it has the gun. There we go. You have the battery, of course, 8.4 stick battery. You have one high cap, second high cap. They hold about 200 BBs, so it's pretty sweet. Got the wheels on the bottom, and a standard wall charger. So let me go ahead and show you how to put the battery in the gun and get started, and how to do the hop up and everything like that. Okay, let's get started and look at some of the cool features of the CSR, starting from the back to the front. Okay, from the back, you have a sling loop back here. Put a sling through there. You have a cheek rest, which you can remove. The stock is a hard, solid polymer, very sturdy. You have a dust cover that's made of metal, and then also an optic rail you can put a side mount on for that classic look. The trigger guard is metal as well, same with the mag release. Basically, the whole metal body is one solid chunk, very sturdy. Then the handguard is a two-piece handguard you can remove. The stick battery goes up front. And then let's look at the outer barrel and the gas block assembly. It's metal as well, one solid metal outer barrel, so you can basically shake the gun like that. It's not going to go anywhere. You have the adjustable front sight post. There's a tool included. You can just twist it in there. And also the rear sight you can slide up as well. So let's go ahead. Oh, don't forget the front sling loop, so when you're running, you have 2-point. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started and talk about the battery and then install. Basically, the battery is a 8.4 1200 milliamp, and the charger is a 250 milliamp output. So basically about 4.5–5 hours charge time and you're good. Highly recommended to get a smart charger, but this will work just fine. Okay, we also have the online manual on the Echo1 website under the product page for the CSR, but video always helps more than pictures. So let's go ahead and install the battery. Let's pretend that you already charged your battery. This one's already charged. So charge that up and get ready. Here is a little handguard release lever. What you want to do is you press in just a little. See how it springs just a little? So press in and forward. Unlock. And you don't want it like this down. You want it basically parallel with the barrel. Now just slide it forward and bam. Basically slides forward. If it's down, it's not going to. It'll be jammed. There's a little notch right there. Okay, bam. Handguard comes off pretty easy. And don't worry, it has basically little pegs in there. Super secure, and there's no creak, which is really good. Okay, now, make sure there's no BBs in the barrel. I already checked, there's nothing. So I can plug in the battery, but you're saying, hey, wait, which plug do I use? Well, what's cool about this is you can plug in a battery on the top like so, and say if you don't want the fuse, like if you want to run a larger battery or something like that, you can unplug right here and you can run a 9.6 if you wanted to, or even 11.1 Echo LiPo, like a buffer tube setup, and that'll work fine. But say if you want to use just a stock setup, all you have to do is, I find it easier to put one handguard on the side and basically the battery like so, and just kind of plug it in. And I'm just making sure somewhat flush back here. If it's like a gap like that, you know, it might not seat correctly. So kind of wires to the side a little like that. And bam. So basically I just pinch it a little more, slide back, press it back, and up, and clicks. Hear a little click, and you're good to go. So now I have the battery in there. If you have the wires sticking off on the side too much like that, you might have like a little split right here in the plastic, but with the battery in there, there's nothing. It's very secure, it's very solid, and it's not going to go anywhere. Just for future reference, down the road, if this does get loose, I would say you can always bend this out just a little, but after a lot of use, it's a-okay. But just something to keep track of. Okay, now that it's ready to go, let's look at the safety features. You have safe. You have safe up here and fire mode. So you have fire, safe. To adjust the hop up, pull this back all the way, and you have your hop up wheel right here. Basically, if you turn it and you turn this way, so around and like that, that means more hop. An easier way to adjust your hop up, like say if you're at the chrono station or whatever for your outdoor field, pull this little lever down, clip like right there, pull up, and like this. Now you can easily pull your little fake charger handle back all the way, and now you can easily adjust it. So now if I turn this way, that's adding more hop, and I'm good to go. Cool. And also you can notice when you take this apart, there is a Mad Bull orange bucking already installed. So it's basically already upgraded, and you're good to go. And notice a nice crisp noise. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So let me go ahead and put this back on. Cool. Now let me go ahead and load it up with some BBs. I'm going to go ahead and use some Echo 1.25 BBs, of course. If you're using a sniper platform, either the ASR, the M28, or the CSR, it's highly recommended to use .25s. That's borderline satisfactory. I wouldn't really recommend it, but good for testing. Recommend like the 2.8s by Echo1, or you can even go into like some of the sniper BBs, like by Mad Bull, like in the smaller bottles. Those are the good. Basically, the heavier the BB, the straighter it'll fly when you're playing airsoft, especially for outdoors. And this will apply for your M4 and everything as well, in case you're curious. So if you have like a .2, it would be all squirrely when it's flying down range. And basically wind it like so. And you notice little BBs pop up there. And if you want to check to make sure that it's enough tension, if you pull this little tab right here, they'll all squirt out, and you can put it back in there. So basically put BBs in here, wind it up, and you're good. Cool. Okay, now that I have the 8.4 stick battery, which the gun comes with, installed in the handguard, I checked out the hop up, and I loaded the mag. Let me go ahead and load it. Simple clip, good to go. Very secure, not going to go anywhere. And make sure you hear that click, otherwise if you place it in there, it might not be locked, but it's good to go now. So just for precautions of proper feeding, wind up a little extra, good to go. I'm going to shoot in the safe box direction right here, and brand new and stiff. Go ahead and switch to the semi-auto mode. There is no full auto because it's a sniper platform. Let me go ahead and shoot. A lot of you guys are saying, oh, it's just an 8.4 battery, it's not going to keep up. And well, just to let you know, this gun shoots over 500 FPS with a .20 BB. So I can, with an 8.4 stick battery and the torque motor it comes with, it's a pretty good rate of fire considering it shoots over 500 FPS, torque motor, and a stock 8.4 stick battery. I know you guys don't like the stock batteries, but you can use a 9.6 stick battery and also a stick LiPo, like for a buffer tube, like our Echo batteries we have. So that'll give you more lifespan on the field. But out of the box, this thing's ready to go because you can shoot. In fact, you can double tap, which is really cool. Like the ASR is really good. It's very quiet. The M28 is very good. Kind of heavy, but it's really good for like that mil sim. But this, it just blows me out of the water because you can just you can go to town on all those people in the field. It's a great weapon. Let's go ahead and take it apart and show you the internals. Okay, let's go ahead and take this apart real quick. First, disconnect the battery. Bam. Battery handguard off. And yes, I was still using 8.4 stick battery. Comes with. Okay, switch to safe just because. And flip down and up like this. And now it gets tricky. There's lots of ways you can do this. So I'm going to go ahead and do is pull this little bar up and out. Then the little fake charging handle. And I'm going to go ahead and take off the barrel set first. The outer barrel is one solid piece. You have the two pins this way and one that's sitting here. Holds it in place. Very, very sturdy. So let me go ahead and get that. But first I have to remove the little wires. And this is only if you want to take it apart to upgrade or whatever you want to do. Like, you don't need to do any of this once you buy the gun, just to let you know. Basically, I just bypassed the fuse right there, so now I can run the 8.4 or the 9.6 battery or whatever, like that, in case you're curious. So, pull the wires there, lift up front sight, or the rear sight, you know what I mean. And then you have a 2.5 grub screw, a little Allen set screw, 2 of them. And you loosen those, and it can come out just about. It's stopping on these 2. So basically, just loosen. These little screws on either side, the Frankenstein screws, instead of on the neck, it is on the sides holding the hop up, just up against the gearbox. So you can, the spring presses it, but then you can make it so it doesn't jump. With a lot of high-powered airsoft guns, you want to make sure the hop up doesn't jump just from that little piston transfer. So what you do is slide it out like so, bam, and then you can angle up and you can take out your inner barrel. So say if you have a jam or you want to put in like some aftermarket barrel, the inner barrel length is 680 millimeters long. So if you have a Madball 650, it'll stop right about here. That's fine, you know, it's just going to go like to here or so. But say if you want to use like a longer outer barrel, I think there's a couple floating out there, but you can go ahead and find that. So 680 is the average. And for the hop up, it's pretty cool. You can adjust it. You have nice little clicks. You can tighten this little set screw here with a little bearing and spring, and have much more tighter, and you have more fine-tuned adjustment. You can turn it just a smidge. And if you look at it, it's just a sniper's choice. And it's a regular AG cut barrel, so you can use Madball barrels again, and you're good to go. The outer barrel is good. It's solid, one piece. You don't have to worry about it. You can beat a zombie with it if you wanted to. Okay, cool. That's the basic stuff. Say if you wanted to unjam it or whatever's needed. Now, lower. You guys are probably saying, how the heck do I take this apart? Well, first off, let's start on this little part. It's different than your regular AKs, so pay special attention. Pull up, twist back like so. Basically, you want to twist. There you go. If you look, there's a little teardrop here, and corresponding part. Basically, twist like so, and up and out like that. Bam. So, sorry, I kind of forgot. The unlock point is there. My bad. Okay. And same for the selector switch or lever. You want to pull up, and you'll feel how it's kind of going in the spot. And you just got to kind of work it. When it's brand new, it's very stiff. And you just got to work it back and forth just a little. And you can use flathead just a little and pry it. There you go. Cool. This one has 2 little notches, like so. So it is a little more difficult, but it's totally different than a regular, the Red Star LMG and everything, where you have like the cap, or the old school like the Vectors where it's a screw. So pay special attention to that. Then you have down here, you can use a flathead, remove this screw, and you can get to the motor height adjustment. Take this off. It's just one little flat screw, and you have a 2mm set screw right here. You can adjust the motor to raise or lower depending on what you need to do. And then it looks like you're almost done, ready to take it out, but it's still stuck in there. What you need to do is right in here. You have one tiny little Phillips very troublesome. Not really troublesome, but just can be hidden. You might not see it. Basically, loosen that. Okay, and it will stay in there, don't worry. Now, the tricky part is feed the wires back through. Okay, now to feed the wires back through, you might want to just take your time and look, and you'll see how they kind of go through there. Kind of like the wires are held in like little hooks and everything on the side of the body, so it doesn't get in the way of the mag. And you kind of want to first make slack and release them, and then you can see how they're free somewhat, and you can kind of pull the wires through. And then the tricky part is to get the wire and the plug through here. What I did is basically pull on the little clip, kind of like a little seesaw, so it pivots a little, and you're good. Okay, now wiggle it, and bam. Cool. Okay. Now for the lower, in case you wanted to take off trigger guard, you can. It's pretty cool. Don't really need to do that, but just because you can. And also if you want to take the stock off, you have this large Phillips right here, and you can take off this whole thing, and it's one solid chunk, which is good. Now, let me put that aside. Don't have to do anything for that. The gearbox is what you guys are looking at. It's pretty cool. It's a mixture of the M14 series, how you put the spring in for the tappet plate, and then sort of kind of like an old school large cylinder sniper platform. So let me go ahead and open this up real quick and show you the internals. Also, first off, it's a torque motor, and with that it's able to crank really easy with the hard spring. Okay, first off, when you take motor cage off, you're going to look in there like a regular gun, like, holy crap, I don't even see a reversal latch. What I do, I can't use my little hook that I made. What to do is use a pin, and you have a small hole back here. Basically, the reversal latch is sitting right here, pressed up against the bevel gear. Notice you have 1, 2, 3, 4 gears. It's pretty crazy, so I'll go slow. Basically, the reversal latch is pressing here, and you want to press, push it, and it unwinds. So here we go. Press. Done. Press again just to make sure. Cool. I could stick my finger, touch the bevel, and it wiggles. Cool. Good to go. We continue to take it apart. One little Phillips, two little Phillips, three little Phillips screws for this little plate here. Take this off, and let me get my little hook. Okay, basically just wiggle it off, and cool. Now I can go ahead and take off this side. You have one little Phillips, two little Phillips, little screws. Take out this little part, and now the trigger can wiggle almost off. My bad. Take out the little middle cam, and good. And now it can come off. And you don't have to take off this one, and here's the cutoff lever. So, cool. There's a little plate up here, kind of like a regular version 3. Just tap it, tap a little more, and off. Okay, cool. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. You have a little short one on the tip top, and on the front, short one as well. And then you have a little longer one. I'll just take them out, put them in relation. Okay. Basically, you have the two short ones here, two long ones here, two extra short ones here. Simple. Okay, now let's open up. I already pressed in here to release the spring tension. And you can also look and see right here to see the spring guide and the spring. Open this up gently. Okay, cool. Shazam. And that is the inside. Basically, let's go slowly over everything. You have a version 3 metal bearing spring guide, which is really cool. Good for keeping the spring nice and spinny when it's compressing. Then you have this spring. It's about the stiffness of a 150, but it is much shorter than a 150. So you have the same power just about, but then you have the higher RPMs, kind of like if you look at our other AKs. So that's really cool. And on the piston, you have a long piston. It's 19 tooth. So you can use a long sniper style piston. And let me get a... Say here is a regular like M4 piston. Bam! So you want to bring this to a gunfight just because this is Echo1 CSR. Okay, and what's cool is you have the spacer on the inside, so the metal spacer in there, so you can run regular springs if you wanted to for upgrades later on in case you want to push this even higher. Okay, now let's take out the tappet plate. What's cool is the tappet plate, it's different, but it's kind of like an M14 where you have a little spring in here and you have the window in the gearbox shell to insert it here. Not like the E90, but it's more like the M14 series, so keep that in mind. The air seal nozzle is pretty crazy, super small. That's all you really need. Basically just load, back, done. Cylinder head, it's polycarb, very sturdy. Good thick bumper on the front to absorb that shock. Very strong reinforced up front, so you don't have to worry about braking. We do have spare parts going to be in the part shop. You have a full cylinder that's longer and just maximize air pressure, so you have more air pressure, higher FPS. It's overall a great sniper platform. And now let's look at the gears. You're probably saying, oh man, how am I going to shim that? Basically it's really simple. You have a bevel gear like so, that's steel. You have a reversal latch, it's steel. You have a little secondary spur, the main spur, and then you have a sector. If you are familiar with the old school infinite torque ratios, you see how you have the wrap around tooth design. It's very straightforward. This one, it may look crazy, but it's very simple to shim this. Just look at it. If you can shim a regular version 2, version 3, you're good. M4, you know, that's basic. You got this if you can do that. And what's cool, the wire harness is a regular version 3, like AKG36 wire harness. Yes, the wires are longer, but say if you want to put in a low resistance set with like higher quality plastic, you could, or you can bypass the wires and put a MOSFET in there because you have plenty of room up in the front to house a little MOSFET or relay system. And also, the gearbox is a 7mm steel bearing, so you can, if you wanted to take the bearings out, put in steel bushings, you can. This gun overall is ready to go out of the box, but say if you want to tinker with it, you can, just because a lot of standardized parts, and it's almost like a version 3, so it's very familiar to you guys out there. You guys are gonna have fun. So on and off the field, like if you're playing, shooting your friends, or just work on this gun, it's gonna be a lot of fun just because more cool stuff to do. This has been Brian from Echo1 USA, showing you the new Echo1 CSR. Thanks for watching.